Now on CoastTV News.
Scaling back on the Baltimore Avenue project, what Ocean City plans to do now.
Pedestrian safety in South Bethany, what the city is doing and how safe people feel.
A late night sprinkle is going to give way to much more in the way of Arctic air that's going to arrive soon.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Utility lines still run along parts of Baltimore Avenue, but not for long. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with big changes planned for downtown Ocean City.
The original project plan along Baltimore Avenue had utility lines going underground to create wider sidewalks and more fire hydrants, but now those plans are being watered down. CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zappe is live in Ocean City. Kevin, the project is still moving forward, just not all of it.
Maddie, we're here along Baltimore Avenue, and originally the plan was to widen these sidewalks here by an extra 5 feet. But after the town saw the new estimated price tag, they decided to scrap that from the project altogether. $44.8 million. That's what the project would have cost if Ocean City moved ahead with the original plan.
Wow.
Don Furby has lived in Ocean City since 1996. He likes the idea of these utility poles going underground, something that is still included in the project.
I think it'll be beautiful. It'll clean up the sidewalks and just make this street that much more attractive.
On Tuesday, the Ocean City Council discussed the future of the Baltimore Avenue project. Originally, the town planned to use the unimproved right-of-way, which belongs to the town, to expand sidewalks along Baltimore Avenue. But after reviewing the updated cost and facing a tight deadline to secure all the legal signatures before their federal grant expires, the town decided to drop that portion of the project. Terry McGeehan explains what the scaled-back plan looks like.
Undergrounding all the utilities, raising any of the side streets up to boardwalk level that are not already there. New sidewalks and new paving on Baltimore Avenue.
According to McGeehan, the cost will drop from over $44 million to $25 million. $20 million of that will come from a federal grant, and Ocean City will cover the remaining $5 million. According to McGeehan, the project has been in discussion for the past 7 years, and if everything goes to plan, construction can start around fall of 2027. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Ocean City, CoastTV News.
According to the town of Ocean City, that project will take about 2 years, and it will be completed in 2 phases to avoid disrupting summer tourism. The first year will focus on bringing all those utility lines underground. The second year will include repaving the road and installing the new sidewalks. But again, the updated sidewalks will be the same length that they are right now.
The South Bethany Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Committee is meeting Thursday. It's going to review speeding data and how to make their pathways safer by perhaps asking DelDOT to repaint the pedestrians' only markings to make it clearer for cyclists. Community members like Deb Piper appreciate the town efforts, but feel like the highway just is not safe.
But predominantly, not only myself, but many of my friends, we walk on the neighborhood roads and the side streets, completely avoiding Coastal Highway.
The town committee is going to meet at 1 p.m. Taking a live look into Milford right now as we check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. Paul, how cold are we?
Well, we are concerned about a couple of random showers possibly paying us a visit late tonight, but really the bottom line still comes down to just how cold it's going to be and how the wind chill factor is going to become even more than just cumbersome, but quite hostile towards comfort levels. Okay, so Rehoboth Beach currently holding at 46 degrees, and we're going to drop to the lower 40s. Thanks to the cloud cover today, we're going to slow our roll as far as the temperatures tumbling into the 30s for tonight. That helps out, particularly for the beach towns. So we're in the 40s. This is actually a warming trend, below the norm for this time of the year, and I get that. But believe it or not, it's a warming trend in the sense that the winds are pushing out of the southwest, so it feels better with an additional amount of moisture, and the temperatures are above freezing. So that's a change of pace, at least for us in the recent days. And here's a look at that precipitation that's moving in our general direction, being propagated by the cold front that's slicing underneath what little warm air we have, because with this cold front comes a punch of serious cold air. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. We still have the active gale wind warnings in effect along the Atlantic side of the Delmarva Peninsula, so we still watch out for 45-mile-per-hour winds there. But aside from that, we're looking at the winds really picking up momentum and coming out of the northwest for Thursday. And this is the turn that's going to change how it's going to go from sort of cold and somewhat dealable, but to downright teens once again with the wind chill factors, because these winds are going to really knife out of the northwest pretty steadily. Before tonight, we're still going to at least enjoy this somewhat mild ride into the late night hours as temperatures will slowly fall into the lower 40s. Coming up, we're going to talk about just how low we're going to go with those temperatures and those wind chills.
A federal judge is striking down Donald Trump's executive order blocking wind energy projects. It's part of a lawsuit filed by Delaware's Kathy Jennings, Maryland's Anthony Brown, and 16 other attorneys general. In the lawsuit, they allege that the federal agency's actions harmed their state's efforts to secure affordable sources of energy. The executive order attempted to halt virtually all leasing of wind farms on federal lands and waters.
In a related story, Fenwick Island is looking at an appeal against a Delaware bill that overrode local denials for an offshore wind substation. This bill was signed into law this past June and says that if a company wants to build an electric substation to support a renewable energy project, the county must allow it. Now, Sussex County voted down the substation application, but according to the new law, if the project was previously rejected, it now gets approval if it meets certain requirements.
A man has died after his excavator fell into a retention pond. This happened at the retention pond near Slab Bridge Road in Fruitland around noon. The Wicomico County Sheriff's Office say 81-year-old Paul Jones was operating that excavator when, for reasons still unknown, it entered into the 40-foot retention pond.
Good news for borrowers. The Federal Reserve lowered a key interest rate today. It's in its last meeting of the year, but the Fed signaled the bar will be much higher to lower rates at its next meeting.
As NBC's Monica Alba reports, the rate cut comes as consumers prepare for Christmas and some higher prices.
As Americans swipe and tap their way to Christmas, consumers looking for relief when those bills come in, today they got some. The Federal Reserve dropping a key interest rate by a quarter point, the fourth time the agency has dropped rates in a year.
There is no risk-free path for policy as we navigate this tension between our employment and inflation goals.
But that rate cut could be the last one for a while, as the Fed is operating in a data fog, since economic numbers have been delayed due to the government shutdown. While the cut is good news for people who use credit cards or want to borrow money, there could be a downside.
That has the potential to fuel inflation, not necessarily send it back up to 6 or 8%, but keep it around at an elevated level for longer than we'd all like.
And that could lead to even higher prices when the cost of every household staple, from electricity to groceries, has gone up over the last 5 years, according to government numbers. And now, after weeks of calling affordability a Democratic hoax, President Trump changed his tune.
I can't say affordability hoax because I agree the prices were too high.
Clearly, it's taken the president quite a long time to understand the affordability crisis that we're in.
At a rally last night in Battleground State, Pennsylvania, the president touted his economic record and his vision that he is fixing a broken economy.
And I have no higher priority than making America affordable again. That's what we're going to do. And again, they caused the high prices and we're bringing them down.
But for Americans just looking to feed their families, it's not happening fast enough.
The cost of living is very difficult. I'm trying my best to not go insane.
The cost of health care is another pressing issue, with subsidies for the Affordable Care Act set to run out at the end of the year. The Senate is expected to take up dueling health care proposals tomorrow, and House Speaker Mike Johnson says he'll bring a health care package to the floor next week. Monica Alba, NBC News, Washington.
Natural gas prices are up. What you should expect to pay.
Well, the 40s we feel right now is going to feel like a heat wave compared to where we're headed by the time we get to this Friday.
But first, over 500 healthcare leaders gathered in Dover to address Delaware's biggest healthcare challenges. What they discussed up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Delaware healthcare organizations came together to discuss and find solutions to the state's biggest healthcare challenges.
Today's discussion focused on several key topics, including workforce shortages and limited resources in rural areas.
Leaders say collaboration will be key to tackling the many challenges facing the state's system.
One thing that we are talking about this year a lot is changes in federal policy that are honestly moving the wrong direction for Delaware families, making it harder for them to access healthcare services that they need. And that is an unfortunate reality of the moment we are living in, but we are all working together to do the best we can for Delaware families.
Another major concern was federal policy changes, including recent Medicaid shifts. Coming up next, Paul Williams, who's in our Coast TV First Alert Weather Center, getting ready for your full forecast after this.
It's true enough that we could see a little random sprinkle later tonight, but the winds are going to start picking up some momentum some places, and it's the cold that's going to step into the forefront and really take center stage of our forecast for the next couple of days, particularly for Friday. In Laurel, as you can see, the camera's shaking from the wind there. 47 degrees, winds at about 14 miles per hour, pardon me. And we're going to drop down to 44 by 9 o'clock. Here's a look at the temps right now. In Laurel, we're at 47. We're also at 47 in Georgetown as well as Redden. And we're holding at 46 degrees in Rehoboth, Indian River Inlet, as well as Bethany Beach. The winds are coming out of the southwest. And believe it or not, that's a treat compared to what it's going to be tomorrow. Directions of the wind is similar to that old saying about real estate. Location, location, location. Well, with winds, it's direction, direction, direction. Because when that shifts, it's going to shift how uncomfortable it's going to be. We are not, right now, it feels like 38 degrees in Indian River Inlet. It feels like 40 in Georgetown. But listen, for the next 6 to 10 days, temperatures are going to be below the norm in the first place. You add wind on top of that, and that makes misery, a little more miserable. So we have gale wind warnings that will stay in effect at least for the rest of the night until about 10 o'clock. And we do have a small craft advisory that's going to stay active for the Chesapeake Bay area until Thursday. Chances are this warning over here will probably be downgraded to a small craft advisory. So we'll go from 40 mile per hour winds to 25. Here's that slice of rain. And you know what? It's thinning out and it's becoming, anorexic as it begins to move across the Chesapeake Bay area for right now. So I'm not so overly concerned. If you catch a sprinkle, consider yourself lucky and go play the lottery, okay? This is what's happening for tonight. We're looking at those sprinkles slide through rather quickly. We had a wind gust max of 39 mile per hour winds recorded in Georgetown, 38 mile per hour winds recorded in Salisbury. That's going to be our main story. Now, here we go. Direction, direction, direction. Thursday by lunchtime, winds out of the northwest between 29 to 30 miles per hour for the coast. We stay with that direction of the winds, downgrade to about 25, but we're still going to have that consistent pull out of the northwest. Look at these highs. This looks like lows, but these are the highs for tomorrow. 38 in Lewis and Georgetown, 40 for the high in Cambridge. If we're lucky, 40 for the high in Snow Hill as well as Berlin. Then we take a look at the winds and the temperature, and that combination is going to feel like 19 Thursday morning. Friday, it's going to feel like 19 and 20 Friday morning. Then on Saturday, we'll start changing the direction of the winds, and we'll get a brief bump with it feeling a little milder briefly. Then we go right back to the cellar again. For the next 3 days, Ocean City 39, 39, and then on Saturday, we'll peak at 46 degrees. For Lewis and Rehoboth, we're looking at staying at 39, 39 in Rehoboth, then we'll peak at 46 on Saturday. We'll also peak at 46 for the high in Lewis. Last thing, Sunday, we have a chance of snow. Watch this. Saturday night, we start seeing rain. We start seeing a mix. Early Sunday at about 9 o'clock, we'll start watching out for some snow. But then by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, all this moves out of the way because this low pressure system is going to pull all this out to sea. And then we'll be clear by the afternoon, and it'll be sunny by then, so it won't stick around even if it happens. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Oh yeah, we're calling for snow on Sunday, and we're calling for a whole lot of cold after it.
Thank you, Paul. And now to things to know. Natural gas prices, they're going up, which means your heating bill will be higher this winter. Right now, natural gas is nearly 50% more expensive than this same time last year. That will amount to a 3% jump in home heating prices on average. Residential electric prices are up more than 7% over the past year, ending in September, which is the most recent month federal data was available. That's more than twice the rate of inflation. Some states are dealing with even more severe increases.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 8:30, Decatur hosts Parkside in girls basketball, then catch the final score at 10:30. On DSN Plus, here are your exclusives. At 5 p.m., Bennett faces Easton in wrestling. 5:30, Parkside battles Bennett in girls basketball. And 6:30, Milford visits Dover in wrestling.
We salute Constance Speak, a law enforcement pioneer whose years of service continue to shape and strengthen the Dewey Beach Police Department. Since taking command as chief, she has led with transparency, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to the town's residents, businesses, and visitors. We honor Chief Speak for her leadership, her example, and her steadfast service to Dewey Beach.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
If it feels like that paycheck isn't stretching as far as it used to, there's new data out to back that up. According to the latest employment cost index, worker wages and benefits hit a 4-year low last quarter. Compensation gains slowed to 3.5% year over year, dropping to a level not seen since 2021. Higher prices for goods and services aren't helping. Last year, at this time, inflation-adjusted compensation was growing at nearly 3 times that pace at 1.4%.
Elon Musk says he wouldn't lead Doge again, calling the initiative only somewhat successful. On a podcast, Musk said that while the group did stop a lot of wasteful spending, he could have instead focused on his other business ventures, some of which were harmed by people's opposition to Doge.
The Federal Reserve is expected to lower interest rates today. That means lower costs for people taking out loans. The move comes as the economy grapples with continued inflation woes and weak job growth. And actually, they did drop those numbers. Inflation has remained stubborn amid widespread tariffs from the Trump administration, with levels still higher than the Fed's 2% target. The holidays continue, and so does our Bless Our Children campaign. We're still collecting the cards. We're still collecting the donations. It's all to make sure kids have a gift under the Christmas tree come Christmas morning. This great card, we got a little frosty on the front, and it comes from Art and Fran Hamilton from Hurlock, Maryland. Thank you guys for sending in the cards. We really appreciate it. Businesses can help by accepting the Shell Brothers Challenge of donating at least $1,000. And if you want to help send a donation in a holiday card, we might just read it on the air. Send a check or a money order to the address on your screen or donate online at blessourchildren.org. And how about this? We've already raised $266,000 to help children and families this holiday season. Again, really, thank you all to those who've donated. And the holiday season doesn't stop just yet. It's also the return of our holiday house.
This is fun. We get to see your decorations. Let's take a look at our holiday house for today. This is from Brittany and Junie from Mardella Springs. This beautiful tree. I love the snowflake ornaments, the blue orbs. It's very wintry.
It pops. It almost feels like a Fabergé egg. It looks
really
gorgeous.
does. Great job, Brittany and Junie. Thank you for sending us your holiday house. And we want to see even more, right, Charlie?
We do. We want to see how you're decking the halls all season long. Send on those photos and videos by going to coasttv.com/holidayhouse. And again, we just might show them on TV. Coast TV News at 5. We'll be right back.
Now, we still have an outside chance of a sprinkle or two, kind of, sprinkling the horizon for later tonight. But the main deal is this, the changeover from the winds coming out of the southwest today to coming out of the northwest for Thursday and Friday and setting us up for a bone-chilling Friday morning. But in Cambridge right now, we're holding at 45 degrees with the winds at about 13 miles per hour. Like I said, we may get a little random sprinkle, but it's going to be a sprinkle at best because that rain is becoming anemic as we speak. But we do have an active gale wind warning. We look out for gale force winds from the Lewis Beach, we're hoping down to Ocean View. This also is a concern from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague with 40-mile-per-hour winds here. That will expire by late tonight. And then we also have a small craft advisory. Now, the difference is that was 40-mile-per-hour winds. This is 25-mile-per-hour winds. And this is to look at the rain, like I said, becoming a bit anemic as it crosses the Chesapeake Bay area. And not all that impressive. The cold will impress you a lot more. Umbrella giveaway winner Christina Morgan of Seaford, congratulations. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Dallas, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. You notice I got a little cold at the beginning and a big cold in the middle.
Yeah, so basically cold.
It says it twice.
Yeah, so
I don't like that.
No. Well, thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.